First of all, I want to
You're
out here. Thank everybody for coming. This is going to be a special day for a lot of us, a lot of folks out there to be recognized for their service to workforce and the commitment to our programs. And while that is certainly the biggest thing on the agenda, we do have a little bit of business we need to take care of. So we're going to go ahead and handle that first. So right off the bat, public comment, which is on the itinerary today, there is no public comment. So we're going to speed right along. Declaration of conflict of interest. Please raise your hand. Belinda.
For consent item C, the hope for procurement and uses. Anything urgent, I.
Okay. Dan.
Anything to downsize.
Courtney. Four. Anybody else? All right. Chairman's contract, comments. Have a new board member.
We do, and he was gonna be with us at the last minute, something came up, but unless he's online. No, he was not on. There we are. On page of your board packet, he is our new member representing University of North Texas at Dallas. Bob Mong signed off on his paperwork, and this is Nakia Douglas. He is on page 6. A long relationship, I believe, with DISD, and now a solid relationship with UNT Dallas. So we welcome Nakia. He will be with us for our next meeting, and I wish I could tell y'all that's next month, but it's not until next year. Believe that?
But we look forward to welcoming him on board in 2023. So with that being said, Chairman's comments really don't have a whole lot because this is going to be such a neat opportunity to recognize these folks. So appreciate the attendance we have today. We got a great room full of folks, and it'll be a great day for us. I think first thing is
Yes, first thing
Michelle
up.
Thomas could not be with us today. Michelle appointed her to head up our nominating committee for our slate of officers for next year. Michelle's unable to join us today, but Miguel Solis is going to take run with that right now. Miguel, you want to go ahead?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all, and good morning, all our guests. As we just mentioned, I'll be speaking on behalf of Michelle Thomas, who chaired our nominating committee. You may remember that during our previous general meeting on September 21st, it was announced by our current vice chair, Michelle Thomas, that we would be creating a nominating committee to facilitate the selection process for a new slate of board officers for the upcoming year, in keeping with our bylaws. At that same time, board members were asked to submit nominations for officer roles directly to the chair of the committee. And this was followed up by an email from Lori towards the tail end of the nominating period, just as a reminder. If you all will turn to page 7 of your packet. The nominating committee met on October 4th at 4:30 here at the board offices of Workforce Solutions. And those in attendance included Michelle Thomas, who's the chair, Susie Upshaw, Kim Malcolmson, myself, Bill O'Dwyer, Lori Maria, and Connie Ragg. We discussed the requirements. We also discussed the names that were received and submitted. It should be noted that each officer role received 1 nomination. So there wasn't too deep of a discussion, but there was a discussion nonetheless about the composition. And then upon the completion of that discussion, the committee voted to recommend the following slate for the January 2023 to December 2024 officer roles. That slate is comprised of the potential chair, Carter Holston from the NEC Corps of America, the vice chair, Deborah Stovey from ACOM, treasurer, Harry Jones from Bolsonelli, and then moving into the past chair of Mr. Bill O'Dwyer and me, Canada. There was a motion to accept this slate. It was moved by Bill O'Dwyer. It was seconded by myself, and it was passed unanimously. And so what we are now doing, members, is proposing that slate to you all with the need for a general motion, I think, to start the.
I think your recommendation is the rec. So we're looking for a second to approve the slate. Who is that? Alan. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say aye. Any abstentions, say. Congratulations, Carter. Carter has a 30-minute speech. He's already- Well, thank you, Miguel, for that announcement, and thank you again to Ms. Thomas. Wish Michelle could be here, but she did a great job with the nominating process. Next.
Next is the consent agenda.
It's an agenda.
I'd just like to add, my fifth grade teacher instructed me that if they could make penicillin out of molded bread, they could do something with me, so.
Fair. Anyway, consent agenda, do I have a motion as written, the consent agenda, a motion to approve?
And so
Carter, second. Ken? All in favor to approve the consent agenda as written, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say aye. And any abstentions? Okay, we're gonna try to go through, this is the business, a few things we have to vote on before we get into the awards portion of the program, so I will turn it over to Lori, and first will be contracts and agreements.
I believe, Demetria. There you are.
She was primed.
I don't know. Good morning.
Good morning.
I will keep it rolling. I'm on page 13 of the board packet. The only item I have for you this morning is local match agreement. We have entered a partnership for the 2023 fiscal year with Dallas ISD, Richardson ISD, Dallas College, and City of Dallas. These are our normal partners. We are at 4.1 mil with a goal of 4.6. We recently sent out an agreement to Urban ISD for $350,000. So that'll put us about $10,000 under our goal. And we're still working with City of Mesquite, so we're moving in the right direction much faster this year with the existing partners that we already have. So I'm glad to say that this is always a challenging time. So I just need a recommendation, a motion to pass these.
Just a reminder, to those who don't know, this is our accepting of these pledges. These are government funds that are being spent on behalf of the same age group and children that we serve. This money then becomes two to one match coming out of Washington via TWC. And we can't thank them enough, the donors that are participating. This has been a banner year. Usually we're trying to round this up in mid-January with a January deadline. This is the earliest I think we've met goal or close to meeting goal, and that goes to Demetria's tenacity in this. Cannot thank her enough. And thank you to the pledges, everybody that's working with us, but it's good money for all of our kids.
So do I have a motion to approve the recommendation as written? Helen? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And are there any abstentions?
And Susan, thank you.
Motion passes. Procurement. That was quick.
I told the judge we'd be done by 8.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we released a procurement October 8th, October 6th for vendors, and this is for office furnishings. And all the bids are due in October 27th at noon. So we anticipate the office being ready early in 2023, so it's important to make these decisions. We have already received 4 intent bids. So we're asking for authorization for staff to follow the approved procurement procedures. The team will make a recommendation based on competitive cost and quality to prior to purchase and authorization for the president to sign this order.
We anticipate it'll be, and we don't know what goods and services are costing now. We've done centers before, and this is a large center, 17,000 square feet. So we'll come in, we think between, the mid several hundred thousand, but not over anything we paid before. So we're hoping that we can economize on this one. Alex does a good job with that.
And this is North Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah, just to ask, should that be in the wording here?
Yes.
The specificity around the fact that it's North Dallas.
Friendly amendment, so noted. North Dallas location.
Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation with the amendment to call out the North Dallas location?
I will make the motions. Either that or they'll sit on boxes, so.
This is true. This is
No,
true.
no,
Do I have a second, Ken? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? And are there any abstentions? All right,
Passes.
thanks, Johnny. Lisa's.
Oh, that's me. Hard to keep up. It should be. Okay, I'm loud enough without it anyway. Nah, that's fine. Yes, we have located, we've been located at City Square for over 10 years. We had an extension, a short term during COVID. City Square at Malcolm X Boulevard is a lovely place for us. You will find out a little more during the award ceremony. They're doing a very good job of reaching high numbers with very small space. We were able to negotiate and agree upon, and of course, our attorney, John Dickey, was instrumental in always getting our way. So we asked them not to reset our benefit of the year for establishing taxes and so forth. So they agreed, and they would offer us a 5-year extension. It's a minor cost improvement. It goes up $3 in 5 years. It just incrementally goes 50 cents or so per square foot per year. They're lovely. They're good landlords. It's a good location. It isn't that there are so many residents around this location. It's that many people come to the food bank there, the legal clinics, the medical, there's a training program there as well. But also out of there, we're operating the NCP program. So that's non-custodial parents coming out of the courts, and also the TRAC program, which is foster youth coming out of the system. So there's a lot of activity around that very small center. And for this modest increase and not having to incur the cost of moving one more center, I'm suggesting that we go ahead and lease for 5 more years.
Any question, comment, Ken?
Yeah, this is just a net, but I would suggest that we not use the phrase that the lease terms are good. That's an opinion. So I would just simply say the lease terms include a modest increase. From there. I just, that doesn't feel good.
Well, you're not pointing to the action. Can you tell me where we're pointing?
The second paragraph.
These terms are good.
Yeah, I think the word market fair.
Or just not even have it in.
Well, I mean, what we look for is market, right?
Yeah.
So I think that would be.
It's not an emotion, no.
Any other comments?
What's the increase year over year from what's expiring to the current rate? 3%.
I can do it that way. I think it was $1 per square foot, and then it goes up another 50 cents, and then $1, another 50 cents. It gets us from the 16 that we're paying right now to the 19 over the 5-year period.
19 is the ending rate.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments? Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation for the president and the attorney to continue negotiations on this lease?
And execute. I think.
And execute.
on that.
I'll make the motion. Recommendation.
Thank you, Alan. Do I have a second? Thank you, ma'am. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And are there any abstentions?
Courtney, is that a yes or no? When Rolinda was abstaining, were you abstaining? Okay, thank you, ma'am. I'm not sure.
Okay, and let's the policy.
Back to Connie on policy.
We'll look at all of these together.
Yes.
But don't hesitate as we go through each one. If you have any questions or concerns, please ask.
Okay, effective October 3rd, CWC amended chapter rules. This offers standardized eligibility requirements statewide to ensure greater efficiency in service delivery. The following policies are recommended to be rescinded, and we're adopting statewide policies. So basically, there's no local flexibility on this policy. So we provided 1 through 6. 1 is family income limits, that's 85% state income eligibility. So our current local policy is the same as that. Minimum activity requirements for parents, continued combined participation in work, job training, or education for 25 hours per week, 50 hours for a dual family. The third is replaces post-secondary with an undergraduate degree, removing the inclusion of postgraduate enrollment in activity hours for eligibility. This allows parents in postgraduate programs to complete their current semester, so they do put that qualifier in. Item 4, revised time limits for childcare services while the parent is attending an educational program. This includes a cumulative of 60 months for parents to participate while enrolled full-time in an undergraduate program. And the 5th is parents is making progress towards successful completion of job training or education program. This provides for continued enrollment in the training or education program. The parent demonstrates progress toward successful completion. And lastly, childcare services to a child with disabilities under the age of 19. So we're asking for board authorization to rescind our local policies, and we're adopting the statewide policy.
Connie, that was a requirement from the state.
It is.
Yeah, that's gonna be my question, is it, I mean, what are we voting on here? Do we have a choice?
Rescinding our local
It's
policies, so we don't have a conflict.
Okay, but the bottom line, we don't have a choice.
We don't, but I want you to see, most of ours are in line. Most of the policies we had were in line with where they're going. There were very modest little nits that they put in here. So just want you aware, this is coming stronger and stronger from the state to provide uniformity across the state in childcare, and we appreciate that. We're going to be able to pay higher rates. That's another coming attraction. And hopefully standardize the parent share cost. So a parent moving inside the state doesn't see the Dallas policy to be more money than they were paying in the Abilene area. So they are looking at more standardization across the state. I think it was a modest change for us. I think for some boards, it's probably a dramatic change. They may have had policies on the books that deviated from this, but we want to keep you apprised.
Thanks, Ken. Any other?
So number 3, childcare services during education, where it's replacing post-secondary with undergraduate. So I understand they're gonna let them complete the postgraduate current semester, but will they no longer be able to get the services now? You only can get it for as an undergraduate, is that?
That is correct.
So, I mean, but why are we, so the local policy allows for more flexibility than the state policy, is that what you're saying?
It did,
It-
but the
So-
state has made this a rule now.
But the local policy, they could still get postgraduate education.
They could have, and they can continue if they were already enrolled, but the state doesn't want us doing that anymore.
So then we're kind of taking away some.
Yes.
Of
It's not used that much. Master's level, it's not used as much as you might think. We can probably run the numbers and get that back out. How many we have that are that are beyond undergraduate work.
But we grandfather those that are currently participating.
Right.
Can I ask also a clarifying question? So when they say undergraduate degree, does that then effectively eliminate someone going to get an associate's degree?
No. This is going associate's degree, credentialing. I'm saying, honey, all of that is allowable. They're just capping the high end.
Right.
pulling it down.
I guess it, got it. So my question, because it states specifically undergraduate degree, I guess that's an umbrella term for all of the other things you just listed.
I think that that's the one policy. There's other policy around certification and credentialing and associate degree. Hers just speaks to that one specific policy that was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and just, number 4 actually is more liberal,
Yes,
stretching.
that's a lot of months, 5-year effort, yes.
Definitely. Any other comments? Then I need a motion to approve the recommendation to rescind our local policies and adhere to the state policy with the changes made. Have a motion, Dan, second,
Second.
Ken? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? And are there any abstentions? Susan? Any Courtney?
Now just the reports, if we could, and then there's one last action, Richard? And Christian. For those of you who've been with us a while, you remember Mario. Took us a while to replace Mario. Christian is the new Mario.
And I will introduce Kristen in just a second, but I wanted to touch on the NPR, which is on page 15. My name is Richard Perez. I'm the research manager for the board. And NPR is the monthly performance report for August. We are not meeting two measures, WYOA August Q4 and employers receiving workforce assistance. We have one more month before the final NPR comes out. That should be out. That has the year-end reports, but it probably will look very similar to this. On page 17 is the performance, 17 and 18 is performance for all the other boards. On a quick snapshot. And do I have any questions before I go to the economic snapshot? So this is Christian Mason. And you can just say, yeah.
Hey everyone, Christian Manti. I just moved here to Dallas about a month ago from Virginia Beach, Virginia, to work for Workforce Solutions. So I'm really happy to be here in Dallas and welcome you with open arms. And I'm glad to get a taste of Southern hospitality. So thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And I got to give credit, Christian prepared some of the material for the economic snapshot. And I know we're running short on time, so I'm just going to touch on a few things. The unemployment rate is notched down. It's still, I'm predicting to trend downward. We have a UI claims that gives a snapshot of the educational attainment of claimants. And then the change in employment industry from February to March. We'll have more innovative reports in January at the next board meeting. So we welcome Christian here. I think he's going to do a great job. On the next page is the childcare subsidized data snapshot. Childcare performance is inching upwards, but so is the childcare performance target. It's on a month to month, but it just has one more month to its conclusion, and I still think childcare is going to beat the end of year target and come in over 100%. There's a chart for DPS children per day and a little bit of child care wait list data. The next page is the child care quality dashboard. And just to touch on this, the number of rising star providers is dipping just slightly. And the number of children enrolled in the TRS providers is is holding steady, but above what it was in October. 21. Is there any questions? Well.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I have a quick question. How do these numbers compare to 2019 sort of pre-pandemic era?
What, is this the childcare data?
Yeah.
I don't have that in front of me, but off the top of my head, I want to say that the childcare numbers and childcare subsidies were significantly the.
They were in the 12,000 range back in 19.
Yeah,
Our goals were not this high and the money was not this fluid. I did look back, the wait list, however, had gotten as high as 9,000 at one point. So the wait list has worked off dramatically, but the wait list keeps populating. And Susan can tell you for how many years we've watched this, 4,000 to 7,000 to 9,000 to 3,000. It's all over the place, but at least people are re-engaging in the workforce and they're coming to childcare group and getting childcare.
Yeah, I would just request that in the future, we have some sort of data that lets us know if we are sort of back to normal pre-pandemic times, or if we're still on this transition period.
Easy to do. We have done that with UI and talked about we're back to full employment. We just hadn't done it with childcare. We'll do that. And I'll get it out to the board before next year. We'll get that out.
Bill,
Thank you, Gary. Go
it might
ahead.
be interesting to know that when you talk to Mike Rose, who right here from Dallas Regional Chamber, that now this is for the region, it's not for Dallas County specifically, but we're on pre-pandemic levels, we're at 107% on jobs right now. 324,000 jobs have been added since the start of the pandemic, believe it or not, in our region. And what's interesting is that there's only 3 other cities in the country that actually have a positive number relative to pre-pandemic levels. And so it's a stunning phenomenon that we're experiencing here in this region. Nevertheless, obviously, we still have challenges.
And the judge came in on cue as you began to talk about the fabulous economy that we're experiencing in job creation. Welcome, Judge. Have a seat if you will. We're wrapping up. Yes, sir. We're wrapping up. This is Ashley, and we do have an action item with Ashley, and then Becky will do the final report.
Good morning, I'm Ashley Werner, Chief Financial Officer for the board. And our detailed expenditure report as of August 31st begins on page 22 of your board packet this month. I just have a couple of items of note to bring to your attention. First, as mentioned last month, after very diligent work on the team's part, and of course with a big thank you to Gilbert Gerst, we have now transitioned from Comerica to Bank of Texas. Also, on page 22, you will notice one item for recommendation. Our health insurance for staff at the board office runs on a calendar year. And as of the time we developed this packet, we did not yet have renewal rates from our current provider, Blue Cross Blue Shield. As of today, I can tell you that we have received a renewal quote with an increase of 8.4%. Our broker is currently working to price out services for us with other providers for comparison. Once quotes are confirmed, staff will review benefits for employee health, life, dental, and vision coverages based upon the best price and continuity for our employees and our budget constraints. Every effort will be made to retain existing benefits with existing carriers if costs are within a reasonable range of increase, or to amend the plans to remain within a reasonable price. In the event our current carriers are unable to renew within reasonable and market parameters, staff will initiate comparable coverage from other carriers seeking best price for benefits similar to our existing plans. We are requesting board authorization to move forward with the president to negotiate and sign for health, life, dental, and vision coverages based upon best price and continuity for our employees before the new year.
Are there any questions?
First of all, we use a broker, correct?
Yes.
So,
Mark and
so
Chow.
they will be testing different products and different lines and compare that. And do you have any feel for what the percentage increase might be? 8%?
Eight's what it is as quoted right now. That's
8.4.
why there's a.
That's still considering things, that's pretty good.
Well-
But every year it's a single digit and it just keeps amping up.
But this broker has the authority now to go out and solicit our
Correct.
prices to protect that.
I would just say that the board should be advised if it's greater than, let's put a cap on it of 10 or 12%. If
Oh,
that's,
yes.
if it goes over that, then I think we would amend this to say, yes, up to whatever number we want to say.
So we already know that it's.
We already know it's less right now.
8.4%.
Yes.
So.
Something else to consider. We want to no lapse in coverage that, and we hate that it's a January thing, a December, January, but that's what the Affordable Care Act kind of did to all of us. So I've checked with the broker. If January, February, we're looking it over and the board is not satisfied with the pricing, we can always go out again and make the amendment mid-year. We don't have to make the amendment. It's difficult for us. Most boards aren't doing a December meeting to talk about the price of healthcare, and yet bids are really slow to eke in. So I did check with Mark and Tel once before about, can we change this at any time? Yes. So that's another caveat.
Thank you.
What's the number of our full-time employees?
We're at 27 million.
Still.
It's
Okay,
tough.
yes, they come and go, they come and go. Our max is about 35, 36.
Yeah.
But we haven't hit 30 in a while and maintained.
Well, I think all of us have experienced a hit
Yeah.
in insurance every year for the last several years. So while it's to be expected, I certainly appreciate him going out and seeing if he can beat it down a little more while getting the same coverage. But do I have a motion to accept the recommendation as written? Giving the president the power to negotiate with our broker better insurance rates going forward.
Oh, sorry.
Ellen,
Second.
Ken second, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? And are there any abstentions? That motion passes.
Ask report from Becky on oversight, which is one of the primary functions of this board.
Good morning, I'm Becky Beck, the EO officer and quality manager for the board. Just going to give a brief update on our board monitoring, if you look at page 26. As far as program monitoring, the child care group program review and the WIOA youth review are both complete. The contractor's response has been accepted and we're just waiting on a closeout report. The AEL reviews for program for Wilkinson Center and Richardson ISD are completed and waiting on the contractor response for a board closeout report. The WIOA dislocated program review and the AEL review for Urban ISD have been completed and are final with no issues. Those are the ones in green. In regards to the fiscal reviews, the AEL reviews for Dallas College and Richardson ISD are complete and just pending the report. Current new fiscal reviews in progress are Equus Workforce Solutions, Child Care Group, and AEL providers, Urban ISD and Wilkinson Center. And lastly, TWC monitoring will be conducting our annual monitoring the week of November 14th.
Are there any questions?
I want to make a comment. I don't have a good understanding of what goes into any of these reviews. I mean, I see a chart and that things are happening. And it's good, but I'd love at some point to get a briefing on what actually goes into any of these sort of meeting standards, et cetera, so that we can exercise our a duty of oversight.
Happy to do that, Alan. Just for the record, you approved 2 monitoring groups each year. Juanita Forbes, is a longtime provider of this service. I think we're her last customer, though. She comes in and does the program side of monitoring, which means she samples eligibility for all programs under that guide. So there's a state guide on monitoring. she's sort of prepping us to be monitored by the state or the feds. Then we hire Christine Nguyen, who is a CPA, but she acts as a financial monitor, and her team comes in and reviews the financial side, including any kind of overhead costs, shared cost agreements, up to and including corporate money with Equus. She will go to their people and look at how they factor their overhead. So it's pretty, it's very specific. It's not subject to, really to their judgment. It either is in the box or out of the box. We do, probably, I think we did a lot of virtual during COVID. So this is a real year for getting back out there, getting very deep into issues. And I'm kind of happy. Congratulations. Irving had no issues whatsoever, and Equus dislocated worker had no issues. But what we look for is disallowed cost. Are we in jeopardy? Is it a high risk? And we do this across all the programs that are funded by this board. So I'll get you a little bit more. If any of you would like to go through one of the guides or the tools, and maybe we can even have the monitor stop in at a board meeting and meet the board. Two female-owned minority organizations. I'm hoping neither one of them stops doing this business. They are truly incredible. The state compliments the work papers because they are like audits. So that's how we have kept this place relevant and not having problems with the state to say that we owe a lot of money or that our contractors owe us a lot of money for not serving people correctly against the rules. It's a tough thing. And Becky, does anything else? And Becky does the EEO monitoring with the state's assist, and that is, and then you also do accessibility monitoring for every facility every year. Yes, there's a lot of monitoring in our world.
May I ask just one follow-up question? And this may be something I'm not under detail on, but for the second one, child care group versus program review recommendations made, parent share costs and twist data entry. What were the recommendations by chiefs?
Becky?
Honestly, I would have to actually have the report with me.
It's either timely data entry or the specificity of the parent share of costs being input every time. Twist is the state database. And there's another thing that you check, is every box filled in timely? We've had a little bit of problems with a couple of programs in the past, SNAP being one of them, about timely data entry. That's probably what that is, unless Sharon, any ideas?
You know, it's really more attention to detail, just transposing numbers or entering in, you know, the wrong address.
2550 is 2850, and yeah.
And then we have to go back and correct that. And
Would you agree it's kind of a detailed review?
you know, but there's detail. Yeah.
So that was the data entry one, but on the parent share costs, is that the same?
That amount has to be entered into Twist,
Yeah.
and it cannot be,
Yeah, so they
Round it off.
Number, then of course, then it throws the parent share cost off, and we have to go back and correct that.
Okay.
high level of specificity.
So I'm really happy to hear that it's based on the specifics and that there's a high level of specificity. Is it possible to get copies of the review available for the board so we can
Sure.
take a look at that? Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Anything else? Thank you, Becky. Appreciate it.
Take the podium.
Yes, with that being said, the business portion of our meeting is over, so we will go ahead and move forward with our award presentation. There's an agenda.
There's an agenda, and I believe we need Ellen and Carter. Well, after the judge speaks, Ellen and Carter to join Bill for the awards process. Is there a mic that's working? Anybody? That one does.
I'm pretty short, and even I got mine. So there's tall people coming up. Again, might have to bend over. You know, you got to speak a little.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, first of all, good morning. Thank you again for your attendance today. Really appreciate the last couple of years working with all you guys, the staff standpoint, certainly all the people that support our centers and moving forward there. I want to recognize, this is just such a neat opportunity to recognize those people we have that work on our behalf. And we really look forward to having you come up and be recognized publicly. I do want to thank, it is an honor, and he actually appointed me to this board 11 years ago, and I don't know, I guess he's been in this role as county judge for 12 years. But I want to welcome Judge Clay Jenkins to it. He hasn't missed one of these, even though we had a couple of these via Zoom. He hasn't missed any one of these award presentations for him. So Judge Clay Jenkins, thank you very much for your tireless work on behalf of Dallas County, and you're on.
Judge Penny has a handheld if you'd rather walk and talk.
Yeah. Who accepting things?
Hey, so I just want to say, first of all, thank you to this board. This is a big responsibility, $200 million budget. Y'all do a great job. I really, really appreciate that. Board, thank you to the contractors and especially the workforce employees who work so hard to connect people with good jobs. And thank you to our employers who make that possible. I think Kim was speaking about the great economy we have when I came in. One of the challenges that we've got to deal with is making sure that people have jobs where one job can feed a family and where they can get health insurance and life's necessities, pass on some sense of optimism to their children. Their children's life is going to be better with parents. That's always the way it was in past generations. We've got to get back to that in this generation. One of the ways we can do that is we can upgrade people on jobs. It's not just the unemployed people, it's the employed people. So for example, I suspect that the people that clean this building make like $20 an hour. But there are people that clean buildings in downtown Dallas and make $10. Well, 20 bucks is barely getting by, especially if you have any dependents. So 20 bucks beats a heck out of 10 or 11 or 12 bucks. And the same thing is true in just about every job that's out there. There are companies that pay a decent wage, or at least a higher wage, and there are companies that pay bottom wages. So we've got to do a better job. I'm talking about all of us in workforce and getting people connected to those good, high-paying jobs. It's not that we're doing a bad job. It's just that there's so many people out there who need those good jobs. And so that's kind of my challenge to this group. It's a great group. You do great work. Very, very honored to be with you here today. And I'll turn it over to whoever it is I'm supposed to turn. So you can tell me that.
We don't know.
Connie, let me get Ellen and Bill part of join her at the screen. We're gonna cut the screen off, because it's causing a lot of shadow.
I'm gonna add, Diana is the longest serving employee of the board staff. She beats me by a year. And Mr. Hall, thank you for coming. For all you do. Oh, and we've got a team. Awesome. Why is this important? As we all know, technology was the blessing of COVID, pushed us farther faster than anything we could have imagined. These guys picked it up and made sure that Workforce Solutions Greater Dallas went farther and faster. A few achievements over the past 2 years. March 13, 2020, we thought we were going home for about 2 weeks. Yeah. They were able to pivot over 350 staff from every center in our offices home to work with the equipment they needed, with the security they needed. And we did it in probably less than a month, which was unbelievable. Now, that wasn't the end of it, though. We believed we were going to be back in the center, so everybody pivoted back. So you duplicated equipment. Remember how hard it was to get technology equipment? These guys had it on hand. They had ordered it, it was in the warehouse, it was ready to go, and whatever we didn't have, they found in the marketplace. It was amazing. In 2020, the Texas Workforce Commission had planned a review by AT&T to look at all of the boards in Texas to see if we were taking good care of our security. That went forward, even though it was COVID. So they were hit with an AT&T auditor of technology systems and a book, regularly. Where are your policies and procedures? Where is your technology detection? What are you doing? This went on till the spring of the following year, in 21. We made it through the review. Upgrades were done. Procedures were documented, fortifying security. In 22, the bar was raised again. Our insurer began to name specific tools that we had to use to protect our technology. That was done in about 24 hours. In 22, we have heard AT&T reviewers will be back this fall. I have no doubt we will do as well as we have done up to now. I've never seen a better example to pivot, flex 24/7 hands-on service to a system. We have remained compliant and working throughout COVID, thanks to these individuals and a few more that aren't with us today and a few more that have moved on. I mean, this is I don't know how you manage it, Larry. Keep good staff, to keep this high quality staff and to do all you do. You still have a major contract with Dallas County for their technology needs. We are not your biggest customer, but we are treated as such, and thank you for that. We rely on this team every day. I think, how many of you in the audience know these guys by name and face? Yeah, that's what I thought. And have them on speed dial. Thank you, and we couldn't have done any of this without you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be in this.
It's gotta be seen. though. There you go. Give it to me.
Come on, oh, the two of the ends, yeah, 3 votes, 4, like that. 6, everybody, 3, 2, hold it.
Thank you, Jackie. So much. Lee, Richard. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Richard Perez, Research Manager for the board, and I requested opportunity to present this year's awards to one of our exemplary frontline staffers in memory of the fallen colleague. The Randall Weir Workforce Excellence Award is presented annually in honor of Randall, who was a consummate professional, who was retail trained in customer service. It was his expectation that all customers receive excellent service and compassion. No better time to remember his instructions to the team. Serve the customer in front of you. We provide service, and you won't have any more of it tomorrow than you do today. No true words during a pandemic. And at this time, I'd like to invite the 2022 Randall Weir Workforce Excellence Awardee to join the stage. Christopher Smith, an employee of Equus Workforce Solutions stationed at our Redbird Workforce Center. who embodies the concept of providing services today as we have no more than we had, no more tomorrow than we have today. Chris immediately builds rapport with customers to a point that each willingly communicates every milestone achieved. He also celebrates their successes, performs regular check-ins that exceed program requirements, focuses on quality outcomes, and walks alongside customers, helping all reach their desired career aspirations. Chris listens, is relatable, and understands the trials that people go through. He emphasizes and shows his sense of humor, which resonates well with everyone, customers, employees, his peers, and leadership. You could say, everybody loves Chris. And for this program year, Chris achieved a choices work rate of 85.85%. His success is more than just satisfactory. Congratulations, Chris, for demonstrating what it means. Yes.
The reason 85 is great is 50 is the target. You knock it out of the park. Thank you, Chris.
Morning again. I'm Demetria Robinson. I didn't even say that earlier. I was trying to rush through the meeting. Thank you, Chris and Richard. Today I'm presenting the Empowering Adult Learners Award, one of a new award for us, and it's one of our adult education and literacy consortium partners that provides exemplary services, empowering adult learners. Urban ISD Adult Education and Literacy Program.
And Naga, please.
That's something you don't have to stand on.
This program is committed to preparing individuals to meet the current and future demands of employers by increasing literacy skills to adult learners. Serving nearly 1,000 students each year, its adult literacy program has become a strong leader in the fight towards raising literacy levels and enhancing employability training throughout Dallas County. There's never a doubt who we can call upon when a challenge of a new opportunity presents us. The team is always willing and ready, and as their leader, Delia, is driving
Delia.
forward behind their motivation and willingness to see what's next. The most recent example is the Retail Pay project. When we presented this opportunity, we received an overwhelming enthusiastic response. Yes, and our students are gonna receive a tablet as well while they're learning. Anything that Delia can get to motivate her students, she wants it. So we have a short video that we would like to highlight their work and success of Mr. Fomo, one of the 6 recipients of the Texas Workforce Commission Adult Education and Literacy Scholar Award. We can do the picture and then we can do the video.
And I think y'all might need to step up, staff behind you. Judge and Magda, step up a little bit, step out. There you go, and form another row behind him. Can we do that? Awesome. Billy and staff. And we love that you brought the whole team. Oh my gosh, Billy, that's awesome.
There you go. Thanks a lot, everybody. Three, two, hold it. Thank you very, very much.
Screen will come down and we will see Mr. Homo's story.
It's commonly said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Eric Vincent Fomo began that journey long ago, but has just reached another milestone.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Eric Vincent. I am from Cameroon. I'm very happy to announce you this morning that I have get a new job.
Mr. Fomo was recently sworn in as an officer with the Texas Department of Corrections. As an adult ed student of Workforce Solutions Greater Dallas Consortium, he attributes the internationally trained professionals class offered at the Irving West Library for helping him learn English.
And this class helped me a lot to improve my English. Today you can say like I am speaking. It's not like that when I arrive.
During his time at Irving ISD's adult education program, Eric was a champion for learning. His strategy to gain better employment was to strengthen his English literacy skills, which included writing professional correspondences, completing complex applications, speaking better in professional and social settings with coworkers, and building listening skills to help him identify key information on forms while in a work environment, as well as when listening to instructions. Mr. Fomo has overcome one obstacle after another, and despite already having a degree in his home country of Cameroon, his hunger for knowledge has never ceased.
I want to thank once more my classes, my classmates, our teacher for what he has done for us.
Eric was a student who, without a doubt, would do everything possible to accomplish his goals. He is a prime example that adult education in Texas provides individuals access to a better future.
Once more, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good morning again. Ashton Bruner, Chief Financial Officer for the board. And today I have the great pleasure in presenting one of two 2022 Pillar Awards. We are excited to introduce the Pillar Award this year. We want to recognize people who are pillars of the system, people who really hold up our system. I'm very proud to present the first ever Pillar Award to Alicia Carter, Finance Director with Equus Workforce Solutions. I worked closely with Alicia over the past 5 years, and I must say Alicia is a pleasure to work with. Not only does Alicia maintain an accounting system committed to quality controls and reporting, she also possesses the spirit of a teacher. Alicia has always made my team and me feel at ease in calling her up and having her assist us in understanding the intricacies of the accounting at the center level. Alicia came on board the Dallas project right before a time when we began taking over several vocational rehabilitation contracts with the state. She has been an integral part in developing, implementing, and teaming up on processes from Equus to the board level as we have undergone the challenge of preparing for these new projects, and in many cases, revising them as rule changes come our way. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Alicia's heart for our customers. I know a common misconception might be that the accountants are just focused on the numbers all day, but I can tell you that when I talk to Alicia about whatever new accounting opportunity we must explore, she is always quick to bring the conversation back around to how do we best affect our customers. Alicia, thank you for your dedication to the job seekers and the employers. Thank you for being a true pillar of the Workforce Solutions Dallas community.
Wow. Hold it.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley. Good morning again. I'm Rebecca Manette, Quality Manager for the board. And I am presenting the second 2022 Pillar Award to Angela Sheffield Scott. Angela, would you please join? The award is very appropriate as Angela has been a pillar of workforce services for many years, serving in several different capacities, including working directly with job seekers and currently heading up the quality assurance team with our contractor, Equus Workforce Solutions. No matter the job title, Angela has proven to be an employee who will go above and beyond. She has developed training and monitoring tools that have proven beneficial to ensuring compliance and is very accommodating with our external monitors. She gives immediate attention to board staff requests, realizing that most times these are time sensitive. She is a subject matter expert on policy and ensures that she understands new policy, asking questions to gain a better understanding if needed. She is a knowledgeable resource for staff and is the go-to person, never hesitating to assist. Her tenacity and willingness to pitch in ensures compliance is met in all areas. It is my great pleasure to present this award to Angela for her many years of dedication to this project.
You do. Hold it.
Good morning again. Thank you, Becky. I'm announcing this year's Workforce Center of the Year. The Workforce Center are the cornerstone of our workforce delivery system for employers and job seekers. Staff of the Workforce Centers work diligently to find employment or better employment for all customers. They assist in training underskilled workers to advance, earn a better wage, and build a good work record. Each workforce center includes team members from the Texas Workforce Commission, Child Care Group, Texas Veterans Commission, TWC Vocational Rehabilitation, and is additionally staffed and managed by Equus Workforce Services. This year, the Center of the Year honor was earned by the Opportunity Workforce Center. This in the front. The Opportunity Center performed exceptionally well with WIOA credential measures and maintained a high volume of job seekers to the workforce center. The Opportunity Center is not our largest center, but they serve many at-risk customers, and they are the hub for the non-custodial parents, the NCP program, and offer WIOA services to track foster youth. They did all this while maintaining an exceptional level of performance. Congratulations, Tammy, on the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the contractors, to the, this wonderful help this year and last year's. My job is to thank some of our board staff and recognize their team. Anniversaries are important. I know that the people that we're talking about this morning agree. And one is not with us. He's on mission as usual. Kent Anderson. Kent came to us 5 years ago. And he was one of three, we're talking about three people who joined us that you know very well. They're very important to this agency and very important to our team. Kent is at the IEDC meeting. He is part of International
Economic Development Council, also TEDC, he's on board, Texas Economic Development Council, saving me from having those trips on top of my schedule. Ken has a long history of workforce service before he joined our team, and we knew he had gifts and interests he had yet to explore. His history included sector strategies, training in sectors with Aspen Institute, significant work in manufacturing credentials that have been used throughout North America, awareness of all things economic development in our region and throughout Texas. Today, Kent is involved in more developments in the infrastructure sector, working directly with construction employers and associations. More critically, Kent is all in with the Connect You to Jobs program, reaching young adults with background issues to find their training, credentials, and employment in construction. He is working directly with our youth and celebrating their success. He could have been a youth counselor, but we're happy that he's here doing all of it. We will hold on to this award for him, for our team. Of course, we can then off the order. Here's Kent's 5-year certificate, and we thank him for his service. There's bets, but I won't get through this without tears. I mean, that's probably true, but I'm gonna try. Next up, Stephen Bridges. Stephen, I guess you have to stop playing with the Zoom when you come on. For the short 5 years, Stephen has been with us, made a very broad impact. He was also a proven workforce professional. Had worked for the contractor Rescare at Dallas and their Austin project. Stephen stepped into his new role. He's been reinventing himself ever since. He started as an account executive in employer service. He didn't stop. Stephen knew the job from the contractor side, but he seized the new opportunity with the board to advocate for the manufacturers of Dallas County by partnering Toyota, Dallas Manufacturers Association, Dallas College to establish the first ever Dallas Fame chapter as the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education, FAME, in the Garland ISD. It's teaching high school students now to become part of top drawer manufacturing skills. He became the lead in all of our major job fairs, and as COVID entered our world, Stephen mastered the technology for the virtual job fair platforms, helping many desperate employers who were looking for talent. Stephen took our Facebook page to new heights with Facebook Live employer sessions. You heard earlier about the small employer winner. Facebook Live allows employers to come on screen, sell to our audience, tell people why it's important to work for them. This led him to begin interfacing with the other public information officers throughout Texas. He is a stand-in PIO. I'm still the one on record, but he's doing a lot of the work. He has that perfect media communication voice. He definitely has made a difference. Last year, Stephen and I agreed on naming his new role, which he had already filled. He is now the industry communications manager. And then he decided, let's do one more thing. So keeping most of the functions he had already developed under COVID, the new facet is managing the education specialists that we have hired at the board staff to bring labor market information presentations to our in-school youth, starting with the ISD. So we have 2 people that are visiting at least 4 high schools at the ISD with labor market information. 5 years, so many contributions that were impactful and a bit unexpected. Can't wait to see what you do with the next 5, Stephen. And did I mention he also has been producing the Zoom meetings for the board for the last 1.5 years. So I don't know when he sleeps, but he's here for us today. Stephen, thank you so much.
Well, we do hold it.
And I have 2 more. Go quick. I said that he has done so much in his respect, but I gotta tell you, all 3 of these people have been phenomenal and let's see your diction list. All right. The other I word in our history is innovation, and Lynn is all of that. She is innovation personified. Lynn Hoffman, please come up. Lynn has been part of our system through the 5 years with major shifts in employer services and economic recessions that displaced thousands of career professionals.
She's worked on the private side for many years and worked at the contractor level for us for many years in employer services, managing employment services. She left us to think she could do better in Las Vegas with Red Care running that system. And I think what she learned is it was time to come back to Dallas and family. So we gained that back in 5 years. It was the right time for us and for Lynn. She has been rejoined her mom and dad here in the local area, but what she has done for us is amazing. I'll get there. She worked with partners to fully realize the retail pace for Walmart.org, bringing online credentials, high school diplomas to hundreds. From there, things continue to grow. The governor's grant, additional Walmart.org funding that led to Paths for Texas, where we're taking our upskilling practices to 4 other boards in the state of Texas. And Lynn is still doing that job today. We then partnered with New Profit to be part of an X Prize competition that all of you remember. Ocular lenses, learning how to sterilize medical equipment during COVID when you couldn't go into the hospitals. Training several people and still in the competition, I believe the members are. This involved Arts to Work, Google, IBM, and so many more jobs for the future. Lynn is a force of nature who can attract investment, manage the delivery, and spend every penny. That's an inside joke in finance. She will fully spend, and I kid you not, if there's $20, we're still going to provide another service with that last $20, and she's going to zero out that account. Lynn is synonymous with innovation, and we are so thankful to have her. Thank you, Lynn. Last, certainly not least, and you've already heard a little bit about his accomplishment, Alex Perez, join us. Alex is getting his 15-year certificate, but that's not exactly right. Alex has been with me since he was a very young adult. And he has actually, we clocked it all together, 27 years. with our solution. Yes. Give or take 15 months when he decided he needed to go play with the private sector. But I don't know what we do without Alex here. He's not just the lead on communications and technology. He is also the facilities manager for all of our offices and workforce centers. He has personally directed the specs to give all of our centers a consistent look and feel while still emphasizing community around those centers. He is on 24/7. That's not a joke. Works tirelessly to see that this rather large system enables hundreds of employees to serve our community. And you know, out there's about 350 in the system. And every one of them has one computer or two. You just can't minimize the importance of technology. He knows we couldn't do this without him, and we wouldn't want to do it without him. Here's to so many more years, Alex. I will say, I've watched him raise his 2 daughters. And he has just been an integral part of our community, our workforce community. And he is tireless, but I do worry about that. So what I promised him before the next 5 is that we find him someone to help with facilities and technology. Right now, it's just he and Diana, and of course, the contractor. But Alex, I promise you in front of everyone, we're gonna find you the right person. You can help me with all of it. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Thanks. We're almost there. I think I'm gonna close it out. If I can find my closing remarks. Now, this does include the business. Oh, okay. Actually, hang on a minute. We do need a picture with the board members who are left. Please join the judge, please, quickly. And let's do the group shot. Good job. As we conclude the business and pleasure of the day, I'd like to recognize Connie Rash, our SVP and board secretary, and
Bye, our office manager, for doing an amazing job. And all the members who pitch in every year, excellent job.
We're gonna wait to stack you guys up. So two yellows and 4 people in the front. I follow in the back and we'll. Check you out.
I think I can- you know, now we're gonna go up the side. All right.
Hey, Eric. All right.
Here, Judd.
Sorry, well, the story. Yeah. You are.
Two gentlemen, half of this way, so I can, yeah, just get a little more. There we go. You saw everybody? 3, 2. Hold it. One more time. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Couple of last words, just real quick, and I'll let Bill bring us on with the adjourning. I don't want people to forget, even though it's our last meeting of the year, we will be at Red, White, New, biggest job fair of the year on November 10th. Invite you all to stop by, particularly board members. The annual conference of the Texas Workforce Commission is right here in Dallas on the beginning November 3rd. Look at the back of your program. This is our 39th anniversary. And in December, we will begin the journey on our 40th year. And we intend to make it an experience for all of you. So our 40th year will be celebrated each month at a board meeting with another facet of our history and the work that we do and the customers that we serve. And it will culminate in a 40th anniversary next fall, November or December. So with that, Mr. Chair, for the last time, would you like to adjourn this meeting?
There an extension. Thank you, Bill Dwyer.
Thank you. And we will appreciate Bill